Hi guys, do you like lemon bars and streusel topping? Well, we've got a recipe that should be right up your alley today. It's from an email I got from the kitchen from Patty Catalano. It says, if you love both lemon bars and bowling fruit crisp, this is a sweet treat that you are sure to love. It looks delicious. I'll post a picture on the screen and also the link below to the recipe. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard Kentucky homestead. If you're new here, my name is Kim. And if you like really good lemony desserts, go ahead and hit the like button and let's get started. This recipe in a single version makes about 12 servings in an 8 by 8 inch pan. Since I'm making it for a much larger group of people, I'm going to go ahead and double the recipe. So what we have here are 2 sticks of butter, so 16 tablespoons of butter, which will melt here in the microwave momentarily, 1.5 cups of packed light brown sugar. You can also use dark brown sugar. We have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Don't get that mixed up with soda. We want powder. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 2.5 cups of rolled oats. I have old-fashioned oats here, but you can use quick cooking oats. We have 2 cups all-purpose flour, the zest from 2 or 3 large lemons, and also 1 cup of lemon juice and 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk, which we shake those up really good before we use them. Let me get the butter melted and we'll be right back. So this seems to be a really easy recipe. The first thing that we are going to do is make the crumble bottom of the recipe. So for that, we need to combine the butter, which took about 50 seconds. We want it almost melted, but not quite. And then dump in the brown sugar, the baking soda, and about 2/3 of the salt. So we're going to put in the baking soda and about 2/3. So the exact measurements for the one recipe would be to put 1/2 teaspoon of salt into this mixture. So we measured out 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and we're going to put about 1 teaspoon in. So we have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt in here. Next, we're going to add the oatmeal and also the flour. And then we're going to mix this all together. We want to put about, it says 1 cup for one recipe, so we're going to do about 2 cups of the topping. And we're going to set it aside, like that, for the top of it. And then we're going to take a piece of parchment, and this is the one single recipe. Is for an 8 by 8 pan. I'm going to go ahead to a 13 by 9 since I am making a double. I'm going to put a little bit of spray on the bottom to stick the parchment paper down. And I've also crinkled up the parchment paper to make it easier to form to the pan. Let's set that down in there. Sort of. Okay. So then we're going to put this crumble topping in, or crumble bottom. Okay. Make sure we get all the goody bits. Then we want to make sure that we have plenty of parchment on each side. And then we are just going to push this down to where we have a really good solid base. So you want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. And then we're going to put it in the oven for 12 to 14 minutes until it's fragrant and lightly browned. So into the oven this goes. Then we have the rack on the middle of the oven, and it's set to 350 degrees. We will put the timer on for 12 minutes. While the crumble base is cooking for about 12 to 14 minutes, 350 degrees, we're going to go ahead and make the filling. So I did wipe the bowl out. I don't need to wash it, but we did that. And we're going to take our lemon zest, place it in the bowl. Try to get all of the goodness. So we have 1 cup of lemon juice that we're also going to put in there. It's freshly squeezed. We're going to do 2 cans, since it's a double recipe, 2 cans of the sweetened condensed milk, and you want to make sure to shake it up really good. Okay. Pop the top off of it. If you have a rubber spatula, especially a smaller one, it makes it a whole lot easier to get this out because it is really gooey. And then we're also going to add the remainder of the salt. So that is about a half a teaspoon of salt. The next thing that we're going to do is just whisk this until it is smooth. I have a slotted spoon, so I'm hoping that'll work, but I may need to get the whisk out. Oops. There's a lemon seed, a little bit of surgery, the lemon seed, 2 lemon seeds. And we'll go ahead and switch to the whisk. Looks pretty good. So we will let that sit for just a couple of minutes while the crust finishes. So I just pulled the lightly browned crust, or the bottom, out. It is smelling wonderful. And we're going to take the lemon mixture and pour it on top. So the next step is just to spread this along. Ouch, hot. Be careful not to touch the pan. So we're going to spread this evenly along the top of the crust. And then the last step is to take the set-aside crumble and just sprinkle it along the top. That looks delicious. All right, so I'm going to put this back in the oven at 350 degrees for 22 to 24 minutes. Once that is done, I will take it out and leave it on a rack for at least 1.5 hours so that it completely cools. At that point, we can then take the parchment paper out and slice it up. Probably what I will do, though, is leave this overnight so it is fully set and cut it tomorrow morning for our event tomorrow. So let me get this in the oven, and then we'll be back when it's done. So this just came out of the oven. It's lightly brown and mostly set. We'll let this cool for about 1.5 hours, and then we'll see what we have. So this is the next morning. And we are going to go ahead and get these bars cut up. Now it is very, very rich. So we are going to make these fairly small bites. So these are a little soft at this point. The recipe said that if they were a little soft, go ahead and stick them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll serve them up. But it's an ooey gooey bite. Delicious. And there we have it. Lemon crumb bars are quite delicious. They're very, very rich, though. So it would be a small treat, would go a very long way. I will be putting them in the fridge to help them firm up just a little bit more before I serve them. If you are interested in other recipes I've done, check out my recipe playlist. Some really good stuff there. I will also be posting some Kentucky famous recipes here in the next few weeks. And I'm about done with setting up my tomato chalice thing, so I'll be posting a video later this week for that. So be sure to stay tuned and watch out for that. I would like to thank you for joining me. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing. Join me on my journey as I continue to garden, cook, and preserve food for the coming year. We'll be doing canning and freeze-drying videos. And I'm going to try pickling this year. I've not done that, fermenting. I've not done that before. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing, join me, and until the next time, I hope you have a very wonderful day. Bye.